It's Wednesday, April 2nd. We got 5 hockey games going tonight, including a huge matchup between Florida and the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are going to tell you exactly how to bet every single one of those games. This show is about making money. I'm Lawrence Presman, my co-host every day, Matthew Barnaby, and today our guest, 20 plus years in the NHL, Rob Ray. I'm excited about it. We're going to take apart all 5 games. Matthew Barnaby, what a comeback by Montreal last night. I mean, 6 seconds to go, down 2-1, the captain with a winner, and then in overtime with a beautiful wraparound. This Habs team has got something special going on over there.
Man, I did not see that coming. And Montreal, man, they're ahead of plans for what I think everyone expected. Even Montreal Canadiens fans pleasantly surprised with this team. That's a huge win for them as they battle for that last playoff spot. Just a huge win by Montreal. Nick Suzuki, I coached against him in junior. Man, this guy is all world. This guy's a stud.
Yeah, and you know, the team is so young with so much talent, but most importantly, they look like they're having a blast. Now, as a Toronto guy, I've never cheered for Montreal. I actually hate Montreal Canadiens. I think they're the most ironically named team in history. And my favorite team on any given night is the team that plays Montreal, but not now. All of a sudden, I find myself falling in love with this team. Oh, Matthew, what do you do when you start hating, loving a team you've hated your whole life?
Yeah, that's the Philadelphia Flyers for me. I just love that city. I love everything about them. But I don't fall in love with anyone anymore. I just fall in love with the team that's going to make me money. That's all I care about. I could give a crap if I played for them. I could give a crap if I hated them. If they're going to make me money, I love them.
Well, let's get right into that. Rob Ray joining us, and what a pleasure. What an honor and thrill for me. You know, I grew up watching all of you guys play. Mike Commodore yesterday with his measly 18 NHL seasons. You, 21, is that right?
21? I don't think it was 21, but you're the numbers guy.
Well, I'll tell you what the Hockey DB says, 1983 to 2004. And you were a handsome man at one time.
Yeah, no, I played 15. I had hair. My head was smaller. I was about 50 pounds lighter. Yeah, you know what that happened? Get wife and 2 kids. Stressful job. You know,
I have exactly the same, Rob, a wife and 2 kids. I now have 2 stepsons, so I'm at 4. And out of my 4 children, 0 watch ice hockey. Let's get into some actionable betting information, and let's start with the New York Rangers. Listen, this team had quite a roller coaster season. They came out of the gate, the hottest team in hockey. We thought this was going to be their year. They are stacked and loaded with talent. And then they hit the skids for about 6 weeks. They have put it back together again, but they're currently outside looking in and in must-win mode. They're playing a Minnesota team that, I mean, they're basically set where they are. They still need to obviously win a couple of games, but I got to believe that the intensity coming out of New York will beat that of the intensity coming out of Minnesota. The Rangers are minus 160. I hate laying that type of juice, but that's where I'm going tonight. What do you think, Rob?
I don't know. We played Mini a week ago, and it's a good hockey team. They get great goaltending. They got a lot of speed in the back end. A lot of offense comes from the back end. They had like 4 or 5 guys out at the time. They're all starting to come back in the lineup. Big difference when those guys start coming back in the lineup. And the thing is, yeah, they're up. They need to keep winning a little bit, but those guys that are coming back in the lineup need to play games too. So they're not going to be pulling back. They're not going to be holding back here in any way. They're going to keep going. I just don't see the Rangers mentally being able to handle. If they couldn't handle the regular season, how are they going to handle when it gets tough like this?
Yeah, Matthew, let's talk about that. One of the great things about the show is that we could go into the dressing room. You and Rob and Mike yesterday and our future guests, all professional athletes, and all understand what's going on. This Ranger team has lost 5 of their last 7 games. They did beat San Jose 6-1, but what is going on in that dressing room, and how can we use it to make some money?
Hey, listen, all signs point to a mini win, but all signs in betting don't normally work out that way. Listen, I don't think the Rangers are that good a team. They are talented. I think they're probably the worst defensive team in the National Hockey League. Inside their own blue line, 10 feet. They make mistakes consistently. I don't think Peter Laviolette is a great coach. Having said that, I think the Rangers win tonight. I think Minnie's a better team. I would take Minnie in a 7-game series, hands down, to what Rob said. Great goaltending, very disciplined, well coached, balanced lineup. New York on paper is a better team. Minnesota's the better team. But I'm going to take the New York Rangers in a must-win game. As inconsistent as they have been, I'm on the Rangers, and I'll lay the 160 tonight.
The total in this game is 5.5. Rob, do you have any thoughts on how many goals are going to be scored here? I mean, Minnesota, an under team all year, 32-39 to the under. Rangers, 34-38 to the under. Any thoughts on whether we should go over or under that 5.5 number?
Yeah, I could see a game like this where you do have the offense on the Rangers. If they could get loose, they get playing. I just don't think it's that wide open of a game. I think it's a little more tighter of a game. The way Minnesota plays, pull them down a little bit in the defensive zone. So on the Rangers side, yeah, I'm not too sure about the numbers they can put up. But Minnesota, they're pretty deep. That they get it from all over the ice. They get it from all different lines. So they can put up some decent numbers.
I hate betting the under. I hate betting the under in a 5.5 point game in 5.5 goals. But I'm with Rob. I think this is a 3-2 game. 2 great goaltenders. It doesn't matter who's playing in that for Minnesota. This is a very good defensive team, like Rob said. So I like the under as well.
Yeah, and I also, too, hate betting under 5.5. I've actually only bet under 5.5 once this entire year. I think it was on a St. Louis game, and it did end at 6 with an empty netter. And it's that empty netter that really prevents me from betting those that under 5.5. And you guys out there, if you're a professional or amateur bettors, you want to make money, you want to do this properly, you need to have at least 3 or 4 books, because especially in hockey, there are so many examples of you being able to find a 6 minus 130 against a 5.5. So, if you have one out, you're really, really limiting yourself. Rob, let's turn our attention to what I think is maybe the biggest game of the season, especially as a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. They're playing Florida tonight. The Leafs are minus 125. Now, this Leaf team has lost both games to Florida this year. But now you got Florida without Matt Tkachuk. They just lost an emotionally draining overtime game last night. I feel like Florida is there for the taking. If the Leafs can't win at home in basically a must-win game against a depleted, tired Florida team, they're not going anywhere. I like the Leafs minus 125. What do you think?
Well, the Leafs only win in the regular season anyway. So, back-to-back big. Last night, a lot of talk going into that one leading up to it. But, I think the Leafs, the Leafs are a pretty solid team here. We talked back end has really improved. I think to help maybe with the speed and, the power of the guys that Florida have up front. I think they contain that a little better as long as the goaltending's fine. The back-to-back situation, it's hard. I don't care how far you're going. It's still late nights. We come home from Ottawa last night. You still don't get home till 2 a.m. So all those kind of things at this point in the year, they start to count because the rest is the big thing that everybody's trying to get at this point. And, a lot of travel, late night and rolling into Toronto, it's going to be hyped up. It's a big game for them.
Yeah, that is for sure. And Matthew, before you get into your thoughts on this game, Carmine Bianco was with us yesterday, gave out some prop bets. He's a massive Sabres fan and also a very close friend of mine. I hear grief from him about the Leafs every day. Now I got to hear it from the two of you, Buffalo Sabre guys. Oh, the irony.
Hey, by the way, hey, I'm a peon in the Sabres world, but I was at a couple months ago. Rob got inducted to the Sabres Hall of Fame. It was pretty awesome night. Well deserved. He's Rob. What are you? 55 now?
Be 57, man.
57. He's been with the Sabres organization since he's been 18 years old. Like, that's a long time. Well deserved. As to this game, did you say emotionally draining?
I don't know,
Florida
man. So you tell me, Matt.
They're Stanley Cup champions, man. You think Montreal, no, that's not emotionally draining. That's a loss. You check it off. Like Rob said, you get into the hotel late. I think it's a tough spot for Florida. No Kachuk. Toronto's there waiting for them. They're battling for first place, and it is paramount that you win this division. If you don't win the division, either Florida's playing Tampa, Florida's playing Toronto, as opposed to maybe playing Ottawa or New York Rangers or Columbus. This is a big game. Toronto has to win this game. More than Florida. Florida's a Stanley Cup champion. If they don't finish first, it's not a big deal. Toronto has to win this game.
So, and I'm with you, and obviously I'm going to be watching it and sharing it with them. So, Matthew, really quick, you're up 2-1 with 6 seconds to go. They tie it up. They beat you in overtime. So from a player perspective, that game just washes off you. You're in the bus. You go home. You don't even think about it again.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's
okay.
Again, they're in a playoff position. They're Stanley Cup champions. It's over. Listen, does it hurt in the moment? Of course. Of course it hurts in the moment. But the big thing about hockey is you get to play again tomorrow. They get to play again tonight. And that one's forgot about, right, Rob?
Hey, it's a veteran group of guys. It's not a team of young kids that, may weigh on them a little bit. Those guys, why they're champions is because they don't let shit like that bother them. They just go and do their thing and play their game. So emotionally, not really. Physically, more than anything.
Rob Ray, everyone. Rob, what are you doing these days? Where can our listeners see you, hear you? Are you involved in media? What's going on with you in your life?
TV color for the Sabres here and run our alumni, and that's about it. Days like this, I go and work out, and,
Oh, yeah.
We got a big game coming up, too, so we can be ready for that.
Yeah,
Prez, you would have loved it. Prez would have loved it. On his gloves, he used to have hospital on one glove, cemetery on the other one. And
seriously?
And I know the left. What I know the left wasn't the cemetery.
Did you guys?
Guy threw muffins with his left.
Did you guys ever drop the gloves against each other?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Hey, Pittsburgh, right, Matthew?
Yeah. He told me to slow down. We had dinner the night before at my house, a couple bottles of wine. And then he gave me a pretty good beating. It's actually pretty good on YouTube. It's a pretty good funny because listen, I love Rob. We fought many times off the ice. We lived together. I respect him so much, and I wouldn't have been the player or had the career that I did if it wasn't for a guy like Rob and Brad May protecting me essentially, even as a tough guy. But yeah, we went at it a few times. Just all fun. No one got too hurt. But we fought a few times at our first camp.
Yeah, the first time we fought, Matthew's wife at the time, she gave us so much crap after. Like, she was yelling, she's pointing and hitting us and yelling at us after the game. Why are you doing this? So she was probably more up.
But that's so
we
great.
We gave each other a hug. I jumped on the bus. I gave him a hug after the game. I'm like, great game.
I beat the shit out of my brothers for many years. I get it. Rob, I cannot thank you enough for doing this. The microphone over at our show is yours anytime you want it. I hope your Sabres get the draft pick they need and turn that organization around. And I'm going to come down next year to see a game. So pleasure doing this with you, man. Thanks so much, Rob.
Thanks, Robbie.
Got you.
Yeah, Matthew Barnaby, the Prez, you're watching the Blue Line. We've got Andy Lang still to come with some prop bets. And Matthew, I tell you, man, that was an awesome segment. What a pro. What a nice guy. And, you know, the more I learn about you, Matt, you got to be one of the most well-liked alumni dudes out there, man. What's up with you pugilists being so well-liked?
I don't know. Rob, I respect so much. I don't like telling him. I like telling people about him rather to his face. But listen, tough guy, great businessman, great family guy, great friend. Listen, you just told him that you want to go to a game next year. You're hooked up. You'll be with the alumni. You'll be in the ring. You pick the game against the Leafs. And just don't wear Leafs gear when you go in there. Don't embarrass me like that. But yeah, tremendous person, so tough. But he's been with the organization over 30 years.
Wow,
It was
unbelievable.
It was pretty special being there for his induction, and obviously great having a guy on there that sees so many teams, so many games, doing all the color for the Sabres.
Now I didn't want to say this on air because he could beat me up by just thinking of my name. But
yes.
This Sabres team has gone through 100 coaches, 20 million GMs, 6,000 players, and a whole lot of fans over that 30-year period. They've sucked the entire time. Is the common denominator Rob Ray?
No. I listen, he has the hardest job in sports. Hey, Prez, name a person besides the New York Jets commentators that have a harder job commenting on teams 82 games a year when they don't make the playoffs for 14 years. Tell me how friggin' hard
the Pittsburgh
is his
Pirates.
job.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. And thank God baseball is instituting where you have to spend some money now. That's a joke.
Yeah. Well, I also appreciate that baseball is allowing bats to be all different shapes and sizes. Let's get going. We only have 8 minutes left. We got 3 more games plus Andy. Washington playing Carolina tonight. Washington on a back-to-back as well. They just played Boston. They won 4-3 after losing 3 straight. We have the best team in the league at plus 140, but they are playing Carolina. And Carolina has their number, 7-3 in the last 10. I got nothing here. Where are you going, Matt?
I like Carolina. Back-to-back. Carolina's waiting for them. I think Carolina's a better team. I listen, Washington has surprised me all year long, and they've been a great team to bet all year, but I like Carolina in this spot. I have no problems with this one at all. I think Carolina is the better team. And Carolina, it's weird. You wouldn't think it's a hard place to play, but it really is a home ice advantage there. Not that I didn't hate going there, but their fans are awesome, man. Their fans are great.
Shout out to the Carolina fans. I saw the Grateful Dead there 2 years ago, and I can vouch for their fans being very high. But that's a different story and one for another day. Colorado playing Chicago. Man, plus 300 for the Hawks. And yeah, I get it, man. This team is god-awful. They've won 1 game in their last 700. That was against Philadelphia, 7-4. They've just lost 3 in a row. But I got to tell you, man, I can never take a minus 375. And more importantly, I can never take a great team against a bad team because these are letdown spots. We will explore these kind of spots throughout our time together. But I got to believe in you as a player that this is not a game Colorado's going to find that intensity for. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to win. But if I had to bet this game, I'd probably take Chicago plus 2.5 minus 150.
That would be a better bet than taking the Avs. If you lay 375 in hockey, you should be shot. Like, you should be formally executed on a line if you're laying that kind of juice. Colorado obviously is a way better team. They're one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. Chicago is putrid. I like the under here. I see this being like a 4-1 game. I don't think the Hawks score a lot against the Avs. I like the under in this game more than anything.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Matthew Barnaby and me. I'm the Prez, Lawrence Presman. This is the Blue Line, guys. Hit that like button for us. I forgot to mention it at the top of the show. It's really, really important. And also make sure to comment. Matthew, Vancouver cannot lose another game this year. They're playing Seattle. Look, Seattle, they gotta be like, let's get the season over and done with. They've lost 2 in a row. They lost to Dallas twice. They scored 1 goal in each game. Minus 150 for Vancouver. I like them in regulation here, Matt, and they're plus 110. That's where I'm going in this game. What about you?
I'll ride with you this one. I'm not going against you on this one. Canucks have to win. I'm rolling with my boy Rick Tocchet. He'll have these guys ready. Goaltending has been very good for Vancouver lately, so I like Vancouver. I'll take regulation. 150 is a lot to lay, and I again, Seattle right now is checked out. They're going to play hard. No one's not going to play hard like that. That's not a thing. It's just subconsciously when you're out of it, you're out of it. I like Vancouver here.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this show moving along. Andy Lang with some prop bets. Andy, we know you had food poisoning yesterday. Firstly, how are you feeling?
Oh my God.
So I read this thing about how good a 2 and 3 day fast could be. So I figure I'm a day and a half into it. I might as well commit and just keep going with it. So that's what I'm going to do. The weight is down. The blood pressure is down. The blood sugar is down. But we're doing good. I appreciate it.
Well, there you go. Andy, I think you went 3-0 on the first show with a plus 275 winner. How do you follow that one up? What do you got for us today?
Well, we try our best here. Matt, I'm thinking about some big time money line parlays. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. We're doing some player prop. We'll go to Devin Tays over 1.5 shots on goal. He's been over in 8 out of 10 games, averaging 5.4 shot attempts. That's a huge number. Last 5 games, good efficiencies, getting 2.4 shots on goal. And lives at Chicago. They're last in the league in shots on goal allowed. So, Prez, you could get over 1.5 shots on goal on him. We'll go to Jake DeBrusk. Will have a point. He's got a point in 5 straight games, 8 out of the last 10. Very impressive streak. Vancouver only scored 1 against Winnipeg. But before that, 27 goals in 6 games. So they can get it going on the scoreboard. Kraken, as you guys mentioned, they may be checked out. They gave up 21 goals in the last 5 losses. And then we'll stay there and go Yanni Newman over 1.5 shots on goal. He's averaging 4.8 shot attempts, 2.8 shots on goal. Great efficiency. Vancouver gives up 26.6 shots on goal. And listen, last 2 games, they've given up 27 and 37 shots in the OT game to Columbus. So they're susceptible. So there's 3 player props for you for tonight.
Brilliant, Andy. Thanks for doing this, man. Every day, show up, 30 seconds, in, out. What a professional. And most importantly, Matthew, you don't know this yet, but Andy is, and I mean this sincerely, Andy's the best prop bettor on the planet. Like, nobody is better than Andy at betting props. And this guy has a team. What are you, like 5, 6 people sit down, get super high, and study prop bets? Is that what goes on?
No. Listen, we're an international group. We've got cricket covered. We've got lacrosse covered. We've got golf, NBA, NHL, darts, tennis, and we're coming off a 6-0 day yesterday. So we're doing very, very well this year.
Love it. Andy Lang, you can follow him at Bump Sports. Andy, thanks. Matt, what are your prop bets, my brother?
2 things. First of all, food poisoning is the best kick-ass weight loss thing. I pray for it every second week. And it's amazing. 30 seconds in and out. That's like my sex life. That's the perfect in and out right there. So you give me 30 seconds, I can create a lot of magic. I got
that's
one.
why your wife
Just
calls
one
me
prop
after. She's like, Prez,
Hey,
he
perfect.
sucked again.
Hey,
Well
I'm
said,
not jealous.
Matthew.
I'm fine.
What?
I got
Somebody's
one.
got to take care of her.
Austin Matthews over 3.5 shots. He had 1 shot in Anaheim. Before that, 8 shots in LA, 4 in San Jose. I think they win tonight. And I think Austin Matthews, after a 1-shot game in Anaheim, he'll be firing on all cylinders. I think they get 3 or 4 power plays. We know he's going to be rolling up and he's going to be shooting the biscuit.
That is a phenomenal prop bet. I love it because I think Austin Matthews is going to have a big game tonight. What a show, guys. Make sure to see us tomorrow, every single day, Monday to Friday on WagerTalk TV. You will find this show. Shout out to Rob Ray for doing this. Andy Lang, sick as a dog, still gets on here with winners. And Matthew Barnaby, my co-host. Matthew, I know you got a lot of media today. Have fun, my brother.
Cheers, my man. Have a great day. Let's go make some money.
You got it. Be good.